In our earlier series, we have discussed about various planets. Now we are going to discuss about Venus. So what Venus will have affect the 12 houses of your horoscope. We will discuss that. So first of all, you can open your horoscope and then you can observe the position of Venus. Venus is placed in which house? One common mistake which people often make is that they consider the number written as the house, but that number is Rashi. House is always fixed and it is in counter-clockwise. Earlier videos we have discussed how to identify houses and Rashis. So do some work and identify Venus is placed in which house of your horoscope. As we move ahead, we will discuss about the placement of Venus in various houses and what effects it will produce in these houses. When Venus is placed in the first house, you will observe that such kind of individuals are attractive, they have a charming eyes, and they are expert in love affairs, especially if Venus is placed in the favorable signs or if it is exalted in the Pisces. Such kind of individuals you will find they have good kind of ornaments in their life, and like they live a luxurious kind of life, and they're attractive to females basically. Also they have a charming kind of personality and are expert in love affairs. Also this kind of individuals are proficient in mathematics and are long lived. If Venus is malefically placed in the first house, you will observe that such kind of individuals are a little bit hard hearted. Also they might not be long lived and there might be some issues with their wife, that maybe he might have to marry two times because first wife might die. So Venus in first house is when malefically placed can produce some evil effects, but overall when Venus is placed in the first house, you will observe that such kind of individuals are blessed. They have attractive, charming kind of personality. They are liked by females. They own various kinds of ornaments and are wealthy in nature, long lived and good in mathematics. So Venus first house, when favorably placed, is one of the excellent placements for Venus. Venus, when it is placed in the second house of your horoscope primarily indicates wealth, family, education, and all those things. Venus being a favorable planet, when placed in the second house, you will observe that such kind of individuals are wealthy in nature. They will get a beautiful wife. Bhrigu Sutras mention that they might get a beautiful wife in their 32nd year. Basically, their life partner they might get in the 32nd year. Also, Venus in second house gives a person a good family and lot of good food to eat. So you will observe that such kind of individuals will have lot of good food in their life to eat, and they will be fond of beautiful women also in their life. So Venus in second house produces benefic results, especially for individuals when it is favorably placed. If it is malefically placed in malefic signs, there might be some issues with wealth kind of individuals and some family issues also might be present. But overall, Venus in second house is an excellent placement for in terms of wealth and getting a beautiful wife and especially getting good food to eat. Venus in second house individual, you will find they will have a lot of attractive eyes. Like one of the most attractive eyes of an individual you will find when Venus is placed in the second house. Also, such kind of individuals will be kind-hearted and always helpful to others. So Venus in second house is one of the considered to be one of the very good placements for Venus. Overall, the traditional acharyas have not considered Venus very favorable in the third house, as third house is not a very good house for Venus. But if Venus is exalted in the third house, it can aspect the ninth house and give out of prosperity to an individual. But overall, Venus in third house, you might observe that there might be some issues with brothers and siblings of such kind of individuals, and they might face some financial kind of troubles or mental troubles in their life. Uh, and such kind of individuals are overall miser kind of nature they have, unless Venus is exalted. They will be like a miserly kind of personality and little bit tolerant also. So Venus overall being a good planet, not considered very auspicious in the third house for an individual unless it is an exalted and it aspects aspects the ninth house and it can increase the prosperity of an individual. In other cases, Venus in third house is not very auspicious, but still it can produce some good effects. If Venus is placed in the fourth house, you will observe such kind of individuals will be intelligent, good looking and charming. Overall, they will also get a lot of abundance of milk in their life and will be blessed by their mothers. When Venus is favorably placed, especially if it is placed in the sign of Pisces in the fourth house. But if Venus is malefically placed in the fourth house, you will observe in such situations the person might suffer due to loss of lands and conveyances in his life, and there will be a lot of distress due to mother in his life. But when overall, when Venus is placed in the fourth house, it is considered a very good placement, especially if it is placed in the good signs. Unless it is placed with very malefic planets or in malefic signs, Venus in fourth house produces a lot of good effects for an individual. When Venus is placed in the fifth house, you will observe that such kind of individuals are a lot of wise. They have a lot of wisdom in their life. They are also blessed to see their grandmother alive, and they will also have good children in their life. And they might also get a young wife, especially if Venus is placed in the favorable signs and with benefic associations. But if Venus is placed with malefics in malefic sign, such kind of individuals might be little dull headed, and they will be in want of children. They might have some trouble in getting children. But overall, when Venus is placed in the fifth house, such kind of individuals, when favorably placed in fifth house, such kind of individuals are blessed and honored by government, and they have a lot of benefic things in their life, like from wealth to good wife and good children, everything in there. Like if Venus is placed in the sixth house, you will observe that such kind of individuals may have a lot of enemies in their life, and they might destroy all of them. So when Venus is placed in the sixth house, there will be a lot of destruction of enemies of such kind of individuals. So we should not have some kind of enmity with such kind of individuals. Also, it is mentioned that they will incur a lot of wasteful expenditure, that they might spend a lot of money here and there. If Venus is not favorably placed in the sixth house, there can be a lot of diseases to an individual, and the enemies also might bring a lot of trouble to such kind of individuals, especially if the Lord of the sixth is very strong and placed with benefics, then the number of enemies will increase. And if the Lord of the sixth is placed with malefics and in a sign of debilation, then there will be destruction of enemies. So although sixth house is not very good house, but Venus in sixth house can produce some benefic results like destruction of enemies, and overall he might be able to see his children and grandchildren as well, as this is mentioned in Brigu Sutras. So overall, Venus can produce some good effects in sixth house as well when favorably placed. The Brigu Sutras mention that Venus, when it is placed in the seventh house, such kind of individuals are very fond of kissing their partner, and they have a lot of physical desires, or you can say sexual desires. They have very high sexual desires. So because of the high sexual desires, they might be interested in multiple females, although they will get a lovely wife, and that wife will produce a jewel of a son. So that is also there. But Venus in seventh house gives a lot of very benefic results in terms of good wife and good children and good kind of wealth. Only issue is such kind of individuals might have little high sexual kind of desires in their life. If Venus is malefically placed with lot of malefics, then there will be loss of wives, but he will eventually remarry again. The amount of malefics or the strength of malefics on that many times he might have to remarry, because of he might suffer the loss of wife in such situations. So overall, Venus in seventh house is considered to be very good placement. Only concern is that it might increase lot of physical desires in an individual, but overall seventh house in Venus is considered to be very favorable placement for an individual for his married life. Eighth house is considered to be the house of longevity. So when Venus is placed in the eighth house, you will observe, especially if it is placed in the benefic signs, you will observe that such kind of individuals are long lived in their life, free of accidents, and will also have a happy married life. But if Venus is placed malefically in the eighth house, such kind of individuals may not have a very long span of life. So they have to prepare their life or they have to plan their life accordingly. We'll have a medium span of life, or if it is very malefically placed, maybe a short span of life. And they might also have to prevent themselves from accidents in their life. Also, Brigosudras mentioned such kind of individuals will get a beautiful life partner, especially they will get a beautiful wife, but they will be still discontented with her. They may still not like her, but nonetheless, they will get a beautiful life partner in their life. If Venus is placed in the ninth house, you will observe that such kind of individuals are religious minded, and with religious minded, they'll perform a lot of auspicious activities in their life. Brigu Sutras even mentions they will have auspicious signs on their body. Also, when Venus is placed in the ninth house favorably in benefic signs, you will observe that such kind of individuals, their father will be long lived. So their father will be long lived, they will be religious, and overall they will enjoy a lot of comforts in their life, and their married life will also be good. So overall, Venus in ninth house is considered to be very good placement for Venus. But if Venus is malefically placed in the ninth house, you will observe in such situations there might be issue with father of an individual, and if the ninth lord is also not very strong, the father or the protector of an individual may not live very long. So only that concern might arise. But overall, Venus in ninth house is considered to be very favorable for an individual. One of the best placements for Venus is considered One of the best placements for Venus is considered when Venus is placed in the 10th house. It is mentioned that when Venus is placed in the 10th house, especially if it is placed in the favorable signs, such kind of individual will enjoy a lot of Raj Yogas in his life, that he will be wealthy, famous, learned, everything. Everything about everything will be present in his life. That is, he will enjoy a lot of Raj Yogas in his life. He will be excellent in his career. He will be charming. He will have a good married life. So Venus in 10th house is considered to be and a good career as well. So Venus in 10th house is considered to be one of the best placements and excellent placements for an individual. But when Venus is placed with malefics in the 10th house, such kind of individual will face a lot of difficulties in all their undertakings, as well as they might face difficulties in their career and career progression. So overall, when Venus is placed favorable in 10th house with Moon, Mercury, or Jupiter, such kind of individuals will enjoy a worldwide reputation in their life if Venus is favorably placed or exalted in 10th house of an individual. But if Venus is malefically placed, that individual will face a lot of difficulties in all his undertakings in his life. Again, when Venus is placed in the 11th house, such kind of individuals are also blessed individuals. They will have a lot of wealth in their life. With wealth, they will have a charming kind of personality. They're handsome looking and they're intelligent. So Venus in 11th house also produces a lot of good effects in an individual. So Venus in 11th house produces a lot of good effects for an individual, and there will be a lot of financial gains through rightful means if Venus is favorably placed in the 11th house. Um, if 11th house lord is placed with malefics, or Venus is placed with malefics in the 11th house, in such situations there might be some money from deceitful means or black money, and some that may be the case. But overall, Venus in 11th house is considered to be very favorable for an individual for his progress in life and overall happiness in his life. If Venus is placed in the 12th house, such kind of individual will face extreme kind of poverty in their life if Venus is malefically placed with malefics in the 12th house, and he might do a lot of sexual indulgences in his life. If Venus is beneficially placed in the 12th house, such kind of individual will get a lot of comforts in his bed, that he will have basically have a good sexual life and a lot of happiness, and he will go definitely to heaven after his death. But if Venus is Venus, but if Venus is malefically placed in the 12th house, he might go to hell after his death. But if Venus is malefically placed in the 12th house, he might go to hell after his. If Venus is favorably placed in the 12th house, such kind of individuals might earn also a lot of wealth in his life. So thus we have discussed the effects of Venus in 12 houses. Overall, you have to judge your horoscope from an expert astrologer, and he has to consider all the aspects of your life to give you a correct understanding in your life. Thank you so much for watching.